Yeah. We wanted to do a video proper. The last video was on my iPhone, so my mom was calling me, checking, make sure everything was okay and all that stuff. She kept calling and calling instead of just leaving a message. Just wanted to jazz about something. So I kept frowning in the previous video for Val Kilmer is dead at 65. Also, I wanted to move on from the Stark title and all of that stuff. And so go to the legendary. So this is a sad day, but it's also a joyous day because we get to celebrate the life of Val Kilmer, a legendary actor. So I brought up I like the concept of the video where I'm in the room, like looking through the VHS. Is it video home system or some shit? I don't even hardly remember anymore. I had to look up what digital direct video or whatever, DVD. I had to look up all this shit. And so don't even ask me about a Beta Max. Before my time. I gleefully say that's before my time. So I've studied some, in history class technology, like the Kodak camera was the first portable camera. So it is some Eastman Kodak. Yes. Oh yeah, Eastman Kodak. What, like one was a businessman, and what the other one was like a inventor, and he invented the camera, basically. Yeah. Kilmer time. Stop. Kilmer time. For those that remember. Yeah. It was a privilege growing up as a 1980s kid, a former 1980s kid, and 1990s kid. Those were very fun times. Some people might say, like, what do you mean they were fun? There was no cell phones. Yeah. Your mom and dad couldn't bother you while you were out doing God knows what. So while you're out being a hoodlum, and it's not like, really iPhone is just a spying tool by the U.S. government or bad actors, foreign adversaries, Chinese Communist Party. I mean, it's really just a window into a dark world that's, yeah, so it's a tracking device. Now, I know it's a tracking device and it's a recording device. Now, you don't have to watch Snowden by Oliver Stone to realize. But what they're doing, they're collecting people's data. And it's, marketers, advertisers, terrorists, governments, intelligence agencies, blah, blah, blah. Now, is it really the CIA or the FBI's business that I went to or the NSA's business that I went to the strip club or whatever? No, it's not. But they want to know anyway. They want to know everything. Now, can they know everything? Can they record everything? Can they record your thoughts and your dreams and all that? No, not yet. I'm sure they're working on it. How advanced are their camera systems and their drones? Do they have like nano drones, nanotech, all kinds of stuff? Yeah. Who knows what, future technology can get as wicked as you want to. There are really no limits except for, I guess, laws and ethics and morals and all this. But Do you think that governments actually follow that? No, they don't. So, not good old skull and bones. They don't follow those things. Um, yeah, the 1980s, 1990s, it was very fun. Yeah, because there wasn't no internet back then, before whatever 1992 or the internet was a government program called ARPANET, the original internet, so that soldiers could communicate globally. So that was the original intention of it. And I guess the government and the intel agencies at some point, they said, hey, let's release this to the public and get them addicted to tech, and then we'll steal all their information and do 24/7 surveillance. Now, the public didn't know that we were making this bargain at the time, because it was touted as a new information superhighway of Alexandria. But now we know that the bargain was a bad one. You know, it has its perks, but it has its downsides. Obviously, internet technology and computing. So, but yeah, it was a privilege to grow up in the 1990s, and I even knew how to operate a rotary phone, believe it or not, to get the number. Yeah, they even had pages that had people's addresses and phone numbers in it, but you didn't really use it for stalking purposes necessarily. You used it, you know, so you know where people's houses are at and who lives there and all that. Just, you know, supposed to be public information if they published it. So, freedom of information, I guess. Yeah. But if you didn't want to find out where Jenny lived, where the, yeah. Check it out. Oh, there. Okay. All right, we just got our water back. I want my water back, water back, water back. I want to fart. Oh, that was good. It's kind of had a little bit of ripplage on it. It was like almost like a musical note right there. Beans, beans, beans. America's fruit. The more you eat them, the more you poot. Yeah, he played Batman. He's kind of too good for Batman, I'd say. Yeah, didn't last very long, but he was an okay Batman. He's certainly better than fucking George fucking Clooney. You can't play. You got to be like able to play Batman correctly. You have to be able to play a tortured soul. So, but a soul tortured by grief, and how the rest of his life reflects that grief. And so that's really the Batman. That's really the essence of Batman is uh, the tortured soul and the grief stricken soul and the grief of his loss. Um, so speaking of grief and loss, yeah, Val Kilmer died of pneumonia. We talked about pneumonia. What is that? The pneumococcal. I was having a joke about the pneumococcal and the lungs, breathing, oxidation to your cells, so you're alive. Yeah. So old people, their immune systems get weak. They get lung infections. They die. Yeah. Once people get a certain age, That's why, like, if you want to spook out the elderly people, just talk about germs and the flu and COVID-19, coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, severe acute respiratory syndrome. They're gonna freak. They're gonna fucking freak. They're gonna be wearing masks. They're gonna be wearing a fucking health suit, a hazmat suit, biological terror suit. You're gonna freak the fuck out because they know that their immune system is them bones ain't what they used to be, and when that shit hits, you're not gonna be able to sweat it off like me when I was younger. You know, like if I'm in my 40s or 30s or 20s or something, and I get the COVID-19, I get the pneumonia, I might be able to make it out to the other side. But elderly people past 60, some people don't make it out on the other side. So until they're to the other side, whatever that is. And Tombstone, justice is coming. I'll be a huckleberry. You're a daisy if you do. You're no daisy at all. No, that one of the funniest parts, although those are funny, you're a daisy if you do. Even though those parts are really, really funny, is the best part where he tells the guy that he's ripping off. He goes, "Oh," he's like, "If I thought that you and I could no longer be friends, I don't think I could bear it." I think that was like one of the funniest parts of the movie, to be honest, even though it's a little bit long-winded, long in the tooth, like this tribute video. But, you know, I like the meandering stream of consciousness style. I like more the creative kind of Jackson Pollock kind of splatter the paintings. But we'll try to do something a bit more organized today. And wow. Doc Holliday, yeah. Every town has a story. Tombstone has a legend. Yeah. Yeah, Top Gun, even though, even though that chick is smoking fucking hot in there. I love that chick from the 1980s. Oh my God, fucking, what's her name? She's so hot. From Witness and Top Gun, Carrie McGillis. Woo! I'm sorry, is it? Oh, McGillis, that's her name. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. You call her Carrie. Kelly McGillis. Yeah, McGillis. What is that? Like a nice Irish girl? Woo! Irish girls, you know what I mean? McGillis? That sounds Irish to me. Like a Guinness or something. McGillis. Yeah. Kelly McGillis. Damn. So they call it a tall drink of water, you know? But some of the older set really will remember Top Gun, and they'll quote Top Gun more. Maybe. Probably Tombstone is what everybody, it's like the big, it's the biggest of all that they'll remember Val Kilmer for. There's a funny meme on the Babylon Bee, and it says, okay, join the fight for free speech. Yes, yes. So the speaking of free speech, speaking of free speech, speaking of which, speaking of free speech, speak of the devil. Yeah. Online free speech really wasn't allowed by certain tech platforms like Google, Alphabet, YouTube. Google Alphabet Corporation, Microsoft, Bill Gates of Hell Corporation, TikTok from the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, that was not allowed. Free speech was not allowed during the injection, during the COVID-19 pandemic. Freedom of speech was not allowed on Instagram, Facebook, Meta platforms. Now, why was that? Well, if you were going to steal an election and scare the shit out of everybody with a Chinese Wuhan laboratory virus, worldwide global pandemic, then you would need to silence free speech, because the public would start asking questions about how one of the most unpopular motherfuckers in the universe got elected president. And then people would naturally have questions about that. How one of the most corrupt son of a bitches in all of human history was elected president of the United States, and his diversity DEI pick, Kamala Harris. So that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to play the Seth Dillon free speech video from the Babylon Bee, but I suppose it revolves around freedom of speech for the internet. That means basically freedom of speech for the internet means it means that the First Amendment is applied to all online. Yes, but governments do not like that, the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment, because that's dangerous to be able to express yourself and speak your mind. People, governments, corporations, they find these things dangerous. So that's why they want to silence people, because they want to have the power to silence people. If you have the power to silence people, then they can't form their own opinions about what's happening in their world. And that means that they are deprived of power by the big tech corporations and the big government. That's basically what it means. It means that a World Health Organization or some kind of bureaucracy can take away people's liberties and rights, and there's nothing that people can do about it except, whine, complain, moan, go vote. They could vote the fuckers out. Obviously they can't steal an election forever. They'd like to. I think there's certain people out there that would like to declare themselves emperor for, like Xi Jinping from China or Vladimir Putin of Russia, and just to declare themselves leaders for life. But since we have a constitutional republic, we're not going to tolerate that shit, and we shouldn't have to anyway. But I think I know what it is. Like, a lot of these tech companies, they just think they're gods and that they're above the law is basically what it is in a nutshell. They think they're gods and they think they're the future and they think they're going to run everything. That's the way they think. I noticed the Google stock went down, right? Just had a big crash the other day. Big tech is not so omnipotent after all. Looks like I see some chinks in the armor, right? So Sundar Pichai, or whatever the fuck his name is. Well, a lot of these guys that become CEOs of these big tech companies now, they're usually foreigners where they don't have any freedom at all. So they probably frown upon freedom. Some of these guys in tech that come from India or China, they're not used to having freedom or freedom of speech or freedom of expression or anything like that. Anything of the sort. Freedom of mind, freedom of thought, freedom of creativity, freedom of innovation. They don't come from countries like that. But so they want to control that shit when they get to America. They want to stamp out that fire because they know it's a beautiful and dangerous fire of liberty. Looks like it's another bad weather day. It's been murky. It was supposed to be sunny in the original forecast, but it's been just murky and depressing all week. And so it's very interesting weather, to say the least. To say the least. What a pattern. So here's the meme from Babylon B, fighting for free speech online. Yeah. It's amazing that people always fight for safety, but they hardly fight for liberty. But as the old saying goes, those that place safety over liberty shall have neither of those. So, because if you jeopardize liberty, then you give up safety. So, only through liberty can you have infinite safety. Because if you don't live in a land of freedom, then you live in one of tyranny. That's just the truth. So, yeah. Is there any females mourning Val Kilmer's death today, or is it just males? Is it just people looking up to Val Kilmer as a patriarchal type, big brother type, not big brother in the Orwellian sense, but kind of, let's call him fatherly like figure, a brotherly like figure, somebody who is a great male in society, successful, accomplished. You know, he gets the hot girl. He wins all the awards. He gets the money. He's a breadwinner. He's a provider. He checks off all those male boxes of a winner. And so, you know, a lot of men look up to him for that. That he's accomplished, successful, and award-winning male. Yeah, the Joanne Whaley from Willow. Yeah, she's hot. Yeah, yeah, she was a hot redhead chick. Even when I was 8 years old, I was like, damn. Yeah, she's fucking fine. And definitely. So I can understand why Val Kilmer got married to her and had two kids or so, because Joanne Whaley. Sure, that was a whale of a time. Ha ha ha. Yeah. So are we ready to get this meme started? Join the meme dream team on Babylon B. Here you go. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Nation's men honor Val Kilmer by quoting Tombstone all day like usual. That's so funny. Nation's men honor Val Kilmer by quoting Tombstone all day like usual. Now that's a meme. Yes. See, the joke is that people were watching Tombstone and quoting it anyway, and because it's dead, they just did it again. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, have I ever met that? Some guy just quoting Tombstone? Yeah, I did. I met a guy he just talked about that shit all the time. I don't know. He just, I guess it's something to talk about. Oh, Tombstone, that's a great movie. I guess it's a way that, you know, males can bond. I guess I was going to, I was with my friend, and then he had these two other friends, and the one Hispanic guy, he dressed like a gangster. He even had like a fake gun, which was kind of dangerous, but he was kind of a wild dude. And I don't know if he always holstered his fake gun with him just in case, you know, he met some real gangsters, or some guy thought that he was he was trying to make it cartoonish, his gangster outfit, so that maybe people would think it was, you know, fake. But who knows, in the hood, you know, if you're driving around Houston, you know, you never know if somebody thinks that you're really in a gang or something. So it's kind of playing with fire a little bit. I think he unholstered his fake gun and left it in the car a lot of times when we're out in public. And then one guy didn't talk very much, and he dressed like the Joker. So he's dressed up in the clown makeup like the Joker with the purple suit. This guy didn't talk, and he's just like, "Hey, hi." Motherfucker doesn't even talk, even after he smokes weed, even after he drinks some Crown Royal. Motherfucker still doesn't talk, and he's just being creepy as the Joker. So I'm like paranoid all fucking night. Not just because we smoked purple kind blood, but just because like motherfucker was creeping me out, dude. The gangster guy, the Hispanic guy, he was like just trying to be like super macho and all this crap. And I just kind of let him do his thing. I didn't really want to butt heads on Halloween night, with my friend. Then my friend was Arabic and he dressed like a Mexican with a sombrero. He even got brown makeup and made his face browner. It's like, what the fuck? Well, he didn't do blackface, but he was doing brown face. I was like an Arabic guy, like Iranian doing brown face, doing Hispanic. So Hispanic did the gangster, and then the Arabic guy did the Mexican. The other fucking dude was the Joker. That was one of the most fucking badass Halloweens of my life, I swear to God. It was one of the most fun ones ever. And I've been to a lot of fun Halloween shit. I mean, some fun shit, with 10-foot tall Grim Reapers and people dressed like Star Trek cyborgs. I mean, that's some pretty wild ones, but man, like the 6th Street in Austin, the Halloween parade they do, fuck, that shit's rad, off the wall. And I've been to some radical street parties before, but this one was on a higher tier, let's say. And so I dressed up as Alice Cooper, which was like kind of like my hero for a while. And he's still my hero. I just don't obsess as I used to about him. So I dressed for Halloween as Alice Cooper. I had the wig and the rock outfit. I got some makeup to look like the emaciated Jack Daniel, the puking up blood version of Alice Cooper, but I didn't get the snake. I just did everything except get the boa. It's probably illegal to be carrying around a boa constrictor anyway, or a python or whatever. When you freak your friends out at the Halloween party, you just show up with the boa constrictor or the python. You're like, oh, don't worry, it's just my pet snake. Yeah, probably be bogus. Probably wouldn't make a lot of friends that way, huh? Probably not. I'm guessing. So, yeah. So the guy who was the Hispanic guy doing the gangster is more like an Italian, like an old school gangster, like the one from the 1930s, 1940s, circa like Prohibition, or 1920s, I guess. 1920s, 1930s. More like the Al Capone type gangster, Bugsy Siegel, Lucky Luciano, and so on and so forth. Back in the days of the Dons and the Godfathers, stuff like that. So the guy, the guy was like, he was like 8 years younger than I was or something. And he's trying to tell me about Tombstone, like I didn't know about it already. Like me and my parents and my family have been watching it since I was 11 years old back in the early 90s. And so it wasn't really news to me. It was just funny that this guy was like quoting it. We're hanging out. He's like, oh, you know that Tombstone? You like that Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer? He's like, I'll be a Huckleberry. Tell me about it, dude. Tell me about it. And I don't know if my stepdad, I think he's going deaf. Yeah, he has hearing aids, right? You know what? He listened to loud movies like a lot of years. And my stepdad is a go big or go home kind of guy. He's like shit or get off the pot. He is that kind of way for a baby boomer. He's kind of like goes all in extreme. And, you know, I have that tendency myself. It's not as extreme as my parents, I don't think, but they do have that kind of like do or die, live or die kind of attitude, this go all the way or go home kind of attitude. It's kind of charming, but then at times it can get annoying if it's not for the right things, right? So kind of reminds me when Homer Simpson, he created the ultimate car and it was like too much. It had too many luxuries in it, and that's what kind of like is a good explanation of sometimes what my stepdad will do. He'll overbuy stuff and he'll make it too extreme. Like he'll buy the sound system that's too fucking loud and it rattles the walls and pisses people off and stuff. And so my stepdad got movie theater seating, which was cool, like for the downstairs. And he had a big TV mounted on the wall in the downstairs of the condo, and had the movie theater seating. And guess what he plays? He plays what everybody plays. He plays Tombstone. But Tombstone is fucking loud. It may not be as loud as Predator, but that motherfucker is loud. Like, you know, and Terminator 2 and all those classics. But this motherfucker's loud as fuck. He's like da 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 blah 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 bam. Like, I mean, this movie is fucking loud. And I know I'm loud. I know my mother's loud. I know my grandmother's loud. And I know that a lot of people in my family are fucking loud too. But this movie is fucking loud. You know, I may like loud shit, but this one amped up to 20, amped up past 11 is almost. So I was thinking, as my stepdad, he might have been going deaf already because that shit was like, you couldn't believe how loud it was. It was kind of, it was so loud, it was like entertaining. But he did this during the day so the neighbors can't call the cops. So the Houston ordinance for noise is you can't make noise past 10 p.m. past the prescribed sleep hour, whatever it is. So that's the in Houston, the law is that you have to go, you have to make everything quiet after 10. Now, does everybody follow that to the letter? No, of course not. But that's just the law. That's the point where you can call the cops on somebody and get a disturbing the peace charge. So. Dun, dun. Yeah, we don't have Top Gun. It's not that we don't like the Navy or Navy pilots. It's not that we don't like aircraft carriers. For some reason, we just don't have it. I don't know. I guess, I think of a certain age group, they love it. Maybe some people don't like Tom Cruise. I love a lot of Tom Cruise movies. I enjoy his material. So what? He's a successful perfectionist. So, yeah. Yeah, some of these guys that get into Hollywood, they're real short. They're not tall. So, yeah, he went off the deep end into Scientology and all the weird shit. Again, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's his life. He does whatever he wants to. Val Kilmer, a Titan. And Heat. This is Michael Mann's Heat. Yeah. It has the soundtrack by Moby, Richard Melville Hall, a descendant of, Herman Melville that wrote Moby Dick. And the song at the end battle is called God Moving Over the Face of the Waters. You kind of went into too much detail about that, but we got Val Kilmer, which is the subject of this video, so that's why I brought it up. Yeah. This guy's like, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. Fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck. Thinks that's like really cool. Is really having children at 85 real cool? Sticking your wiener into a 25-year-old girl's vagina. Is that really cool? Spreading your sperm into that? Is that really cool? Is that De Niro? Is that cool? You guys having kids at like 90? It's really not that cool because your son or daughter is going to know you for like, you know, 4 years max or something. Maybe longer, but still. This guy knocking up people, knocking up women at fucking 82, like he's 25 again, man. Cracking me up, guys. Fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. And that's how the liberal elite Hollywood, that's how they do. I know he's still trying to make movies, even though he's like almost 85. So what are his gangster movies like now? Robert De Niro gangster movies? Are they like the Robert De Niro gangster movie? Let's do the impression of it. Hey, you trying to take my shirt? Fuck Trump. Did they get Trump? Did they win? Did they win? Did Alec Baldwin and Robert De Niro and Kamala Harris and Barack Hussein Obama, did they win the game? Hillary Clinton, did they win? No, they didn't. But there's Val Kilmer. Yeah. It's great. It's a great movie. Nothing against Robert De Niro's performances. You know, I don't know about watching a Robert De Niro movie now when he's like almost 85. I mean, I do think there should be a retirement unless he's just doing like geriatric roles like that. If he's just, you know, playing a like an old dude, but if he's trying to rock it like he's back in Godfather 2, it's like no. That's 50 years ago. So over 50 years ago. And yeah. Can't blame an old fart for trying, you know what I mean? Fuck Trump! But this guy, see, these guys are real cool because these two guys are really cool because they pretty much stayed out of politics and they stayed to their art and their craft. So these guys win awards, not just, you know, Oscars, but they kind of win awards in the realm of, they don't crap on their legacy by, they don't disgrace themselves. They don't disgrace their legacy like Robert De Niro has. So I think what Alec Baldwin and Robert De Niro have done, among other elite leftist Hollywood folks, is that they've taken a big donkey shit on their legacy. All that work, and then they just took a big, hairy, fat, steaming pile of shit on it, and they just lit it on fire. They just lit some turds on fire, and you know why? To spite one man. That's it. To give the middle finger to one guy. What did he do to them? He snubbed them at a party or something? Jeez. This grudge is almost ridiculous. This kind of grudge, Trump derangement syndrome, is ridiculous at this point. All right. Yeah, we don't have Top Gun, I don't think. Highway to the danger zone. Kenny Loggins? No, I like Berlin. Take my breath away. Hey. Take my breath away. Hey. I mean, like one of the like classic 1980 songs by Berlin. It's amazing. Yeah. Even though most people will think the quintessential 1980 song is get out of my dreams and into my car. No, it's not. I always loved that song because it was like, get out of my dreams, get into my car. No, I saw a black guy. I was walking down the road one day. It was an older guy. He was like, what, 50s, 60s, something. And he had gray hair like me. And he had dark glasses on. And He was in a Jeep. He was driving down the road, and I heard, I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. And I was like, oh, thank God for you. Thank God for you, Jeep driving African-American man playing I Wear My Sunglasses at Night. He gets it, you know. Whatever it is, he fundamentally understands what's going on here. And that's good. Or you want to do like, is Kenny Loggins the guy who's I'm all right, don't have to worry about me, I'm doing fine. Yeah, that's a good song. I'm all right. Is that from like Caddyshack or something? But I do like Highway to the Danger Zone from Top Gun. Yeah. Well, you know what? I could do a double feature. It could be Top Gun and then Top Gun Maverick. Ooh, you know what? That wouldn't just be a feature. That would be a sweeture. Sweeture. Ah. My closet is a Blockbuster Video in there. And I turned off the telephonic recorder because from the iPhone, the Apple iPhone, because in case someone wanted to call me with some bullshit or text me or something, it would interrupt the video. They're like, hey, do we need eggs? Or like, hey, do you check the blah, 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 blah? Or, hey, I farted. Yeah. So it was kind of hilarious that my stepdad would play movies too loud. It's probably not hilarious now that his hearing is out. Okay, but he just rolls all the way. You know, he's just a high baller, high roller. He just, you know, goes max balls into everything. I mean, it's just, you know, live or die, born to die. You know, that's just the rebel. That's just the way of the boomer. You know, that's just the way of the baby boomer. Yeah, just go all in. My mother's like the person that's like hold back. You know, hey, calm it down, hold back. So I guess that would be the annoying thing about my mother, is that she never wants to dive into the ocean. She's always like, oh, there might be sharks in there. So, but you know, I'm kind of leaning towards the side of dive into the ocean, go for it. And my stepdad is like that too. So there's a lot of people that they refuse to climb the mountain because they're afraid they might fall. Or there's a lot of people afraid to do things because they're afraid they might fail. And, you know, but I'm not trying to be a philosopher like Mark Manson or something online. The subtle art of not giving a fuck. I never read that one yet. It'd probably be helpful in my life to read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Well, I think I might have semi-mastered that actually. So, fuck what other people think of you and all this stuff. Self-help philosophy, modern, postmodern philosophers. And yeah, actually, speaking of mom and my stepdad, I saw this movie with them at the Tinseltown at the Woodlands Theater, and so saw it back in. Is it 1995 or is this 1996? Oh, 1997, even further up. Okay, yeah, it was supposedly based on a true story. It's basically lions. It's Jaws, but with lions is basically what it is. It wasn't great, but it wasn't. Wasn't bad. It's not a movie. Oh, actually, this is a good tagline for it. Look, pray for the hunters. Pray for the hunters. Yeah. So they try to make a Jaws out of everything. Try to just redo what Spielberg did in 1975, 50 years ago now. And so we'll be having like a Jaws special for sure. I got a Jaws T-shirt from Martha's Vineyard. So my parents went there, and yeah, I always wanted to see. My parents always wanted to see where the rich and the famous hang out, and so where the powerful and influential hang out. So they went to Obama's, Barack and Michelle's hangout, the tourist part. You know, they didn't go visit the Obamas, obviously. They don't allow white people in their house over there. We don't allow white people up in here. They have a sign. They have a sign at the front door. No white people. Just kidding. But yeah, we'll have a 50th anniversary of Jaws celebration. Yeah. Da-da. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer. Pneumonia. Any data on pneumonia? What is it all about? It just means pneumonia. Okay, symptoms and causes. All right. Well, you're not too. It's an infection of the lungs. Well, you're right about that. Your photographic memory kind of kicked in there, didn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Pneumonia is a lung infection often caused by bacteria, viruses, or fungi that inflames the air sacs, alveoli, and can make it difficult to breathe. Symptoms can range from mild to severe, including cough, fever, chills, and trouble breathing. Ba-ba. Now, I would estimate that most of the time, people's immune systems can fight off this infection of the viruses, bacteria. But when someone gets old enough, their systems will get weaker over time, and they'll be less capable of fighting off viruses and infections and so on. So, but I'm glad they said air sacs. This kind of reminds me of ball sacks. So it's add the whole idea of the sack, you know. Yeah, I like that. The whole sack. Ball sack. Air sack. Sacks are sexy, right? They don't call tits sacks. They call them racks. Like they're ordnance, torpedoes, they're milk. They call them jugs. Yeah. Watermelons, balloons. I call them the Zeppelins. Just kidding. I gotta take my dog to go take a shit. I need to take Bella to go take a shit. The weather is not. Sorry about all the lighting's really weird today because the weird weather pattern outside, and then the light and the reflections from the screens and everything. So it's not my ideal lighting situation for a video. It's okay, but it's kind of funky. Well, no more Kilmer to chill. To Kilmer. Tombstone, indeed. Yeah. So all the men, they're women Tombstone fans. It's not just dudes rocking out Tombstone all the time. It can't be. I mean, that's a funny joke. That's a possibility that it's just dudes. But what happens if Sigourney Weaver dies one day? Then what are people gonna? I think males and females would celebrate that almost on par, almost equally. So almost equivocally. Equilibrium. Harmonium. Stasis. You want to do more words for equilibrium? Homeostasis. That's more like in biology. It's more like a scientific term. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so don't see that lady and go bum 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 bum. I want her to see that you do that. All right. Okay. Well, we got to take out our dog in a moment. Um, and bum 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 bum. Yeah, I have been walking a lot lately, and then I'm gonna walk the dog, but I'm not gonna go. I think I walked about 4 miles yesterday. I'm probably going to pick it up for the exercise tomorrow after I get my blood drawn and do the dogs. And then we're going to have a party, I think. So hopefully I didn't ruin it by last night's beer chiller. So I think we're going to have a party. I'm not checking my Mega Millions tickets in case I won. I know the jackpot went up, so I didn't win the whole, 30 million, but it's up to 43 million now. I played my numbers that I thought would hit. Sometimes if I think some numbers are going to hit, they do, and then sometimes they don't. So sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Cornets. Is that cornets? Or no, cornets is do it in the classroom, but don't get caught. Bust a nut. Bust a nut. Speaking of which, let's see here. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Is it from? Oh, it's from Almond Joy and Mountains. Okay, that was sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes I forgot that was Almond Joy. I remember the song though, but uh, the corn nuts one might be hard to find because my friends told me about it. They're like, "Did you hear about this commercial?" And I was like, "No." And it's somehow like it's not a Mandela effect, but I do remember it. And my friend's like, "Oh, on YouTube, I finally found the old commercial." And this kid, he like goes into the classroom. It's supposed to be a kid's commercial, and they have corn nuts, the snack, little corn things, corn cracker, whatever. And he goes, "Do it in the classroom, but don't get caught. Bust a nut." Lo and behold, I found that, and me and my friends were all laughing about it because it's like bust a nut in the kids commercial. Yeah, those are funny to find. Funny kids commercials that are inappropriate. Yeah, like my friend told me there's this old Kool-Aid commercial. I barely remember that the Kool-Aid man would bust in and break down your wall and go, "Oh yeah." I barely remembered that actually happening from my childhood. And then I started to watch a lot of them. And apparently there's this one where two people are having sex and the Kool-Aid man jumps through the wall and he goes, "Oh yeah," or something. I've actually watched it before, but yeah. The Kool-Aid Man. That'd be a scary movie, huh? The Kool-Aid Man. I guess they already had a real life scary movie called Jim Jones and Jonestown Massacre. But the Kool-Aid Man is coming. It's like I guess Kool-Aid would sue the people. Uh, hey, they can do Kool-Aid with the C. Get around getting sued by Kool-Aid Corporation. Yeah. Kool-Aid with a K. Yeah, that's kind of their Achilles heels that they don't own Kool-Aid with the C. Yeah, they found an easy way to make big money, right? That's what the game's all about. Yeah, but rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Um, as I said before, I really like Real Genius from 1985. I didn't see it originally. I went on a kind of a quest. And I thought I did this quest with other people that were reminiscing about the 1980s and 1990s and kind of watching movies I didn't really see or watch that much, or my family didn't watch that much. And I've always been looking for cult gems and cult classics. And I think I found Real Genius. And I thought, oh, I really love this movie. Like, and yeah. I like when Val Kilmer plays like he's too cool for school. but he doesn't act like an arrogant douchebag. So I kind of like when he plays confident and cocky, but not comes off like a asshole. I always like when he plays characters like that. He's like perfect for those eccentric characters. And so an amazing actor, an amazing talent. As I said before, I saw him first when I was a kid in Willow in 1988 when I was 8 years old. And that was my first, real proper introduction to Val Kilmer playing the legendary Mad Mardigan. Now, I will say this, Willow is not a good movie. It's directed by Ron Howard. It's Mardigan steals the show by Val Kilmer. Joanne Whaley's hot. The midget's okay or whatever. Willow Ufgood, Warwick Davis, they're all right. But really, who steals the show is Mad Mardigan and the General Kale, the evil queen Bab Morda. I'm thinking that General Kale, I think the movie would be like a 4-star movie if General Kale was the villain. And I'm not saying about female villains. I'm not saying they all suck. But this one kind of sucks. Yeah, this villain sucks. And I think General Kale is like the more impressive villain with the skull mask and everything. It's like his skull mask is epic. I should wear that to a Halloween party. Put on the skull mask and see. I wonder. I bet younger people wouldn't even know who General Kale was, and it's General Kale and the actor who plays him is so fantastic. He's so good. He's so great, and yeah, the movie. I think what also eclipses Willow in time is that there's Lord of the Rings in the 21st century, Lord of the Rings films. So that really puts Willow in a shitty position. So that's why the Disney failed too. It was too woke, and they were purposely, with purpose, cutting out white straight males on purpose, and that was doo-doo. So that's why Disney's stock keeps going down. They keep making bomb after bomb. They're just not, in a country that's like 70%, Caucasian. Is it really that smart business decision to make anti-white shit all the time? No. It would be like making anti-white shit in Russia, where there's like the whole population pretty much is all Caucasian people. So pretty stupid. That would be like making anti-black stuff in Africa. It just, what? Or you make anti-Asian shit in China. To me, it doesn't make business sense. It's arrogant. It's leftist. It's communist. It's just hot garbage, and people are realizing it's not as good as the good old stuff. So I know that Disney tries to trick people into saying, "Hey, this is going to be just like the old days, just like Indiana Jones and Star Wars and Willow," and then people go to see it like they're going to have some nostalgic. They're going to have some great new experience, and then they go see it. It's like, it would be like if Disney had the rights to Terminator, and they made a Terminator, but like the Terminator was gay. They made a gay Terminator, a gay cyborg or whatever. People would say like, why is the Terminator a transsexual? Like, and wears women's dresses? Like, what the fuck is? What? What the fuck? I'm glad Disney does not have the rights to Predator or Terminator for now. My God. I think they're much like Disney Entertainment Corporation is much like, Microsoft or Google Alphabet Corporation. They're just so drunk with power they think they can do anything and everything that they want to, and that's just not really the case. That they wish it was the case, unlimited do bullshit. That's what Disney and these big tech or entertainment conglomerates think, is that we can do whatever the fuck because we have the power. Woo! No, that's not what that means. So it is unfortunate that some people and some corporations and some executives think that that's what money and power brings them, is the power to do whatever they want. Ad infinitum. But as they're finding out, as their stocks drop, and they have bomb after bomb, that is not entirely 110% the case, to their chagrin. So I hope the people young and old are quoting the tombstone. And maybe I met people that have been quoting Top Gun. Nobody likes you, Maverick, because you're dangerous. That's right, I'm dangerous. Ice man. Keep on quoting, guys. Keep on quoting. And tell them about tell them about the legend of Val Kilmer and his legendary roles. And watch this, even though it has this goober in it, Robert DeZero, but that's all right. Watch it for the Kilmer. Yeah. Chilmer with the Kilmer. What's like the worst movie? You know what everybody's going to say. They're going to say The Island of Dr. Moreau. Now, I find a movie about genetic tampering with humans to be disturbing, okay? Like highly disturbing. In fact, I think a horror movie where a guy's raping women and cutting off their heads and putting them in the freezers, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think that is not as disturbing as scientists making bodyoids, making clones like the 6th Day, or tampering with animal and human DNA and creating fusions, like the Island of Dr. Moreau. So to me, that's more disturbing than somebody just killing somebody or whatever. Or that's yeah. Genetic tampering is more scary, disturbing. What you could do, what kind of wicked things you can do in the name of science. That's the scary part. How far you can go past moral, ethical, and human considerations, or animal, or considerations of life. How far you can stray into a dark place of evil from whence there's no return. Now that's scary. Now that's reason why I probably won't watch The Island of Dr. Moreau. Kind of the production history of it is almost more interesting, because it's like just this gigantic mess of it's like it has some of the craziest like production hell, like Critical Drinker. It's one of the craziest ever. And yeah, I'll probably watch it one day, but The Island of Dr. Moreau. Yeah, I don't think it's always an actor's fault when a movie sucks. That has to do with the screenwriters and the producers and the executives. So that's the studio's fault. It's not. It's a lot of times it's not the actor's fault. So, anyways, I'm sure the movie's enjoyable. It's like a warning about tampering with genetics, like Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton. Also, The Island of Dr. Moreau, I believe, was a novel before it was made into a film. So fly high, brother, to the other side. Always be a huckleberry. How do? Celebrate Val Kilmer, legendary actor of stage and screen. There'll never be another. Like there'll never be another one of you and me. One of God's own prototypes, like Dr. Gonzo, Benicio del Toro from Fear, Loathing in Las Vegas.